The term baby mama stirs a mix of emotions and perceptions and is often rooted in personal experiences, societal narratives, and media portrayals. It carries both cultural significance and judgment and is frequently glorified in pop culture while deeply connected to systemic inequalities and fractured family dynamics. But how did we get to this point? Behind the label lies a complex history of resilience and struggles shaped by systemic policies, historical injustice, and evolving cultural norms. This video essay seeks to unpack the evolution of the baby mama culture, tracing its historical origins, the systemic influences, and the challenges that it poses to families and communities today. I'm going to delve into this video, and by delving into its broader context, I would aim to explore pathways towards meaningful change and understanding. Disclaimer: this essay is not intended to pass judgment on anyone or any family, but rather I aim to shine a light on the social, historical, and cultural forces that have shaped the trend or the term known as baby mama culture. By examining its roots and modern expression, I would aim to bring to light its impact and also discuss constructive ways to address these challenges. That being said, let's get straight into this video. The baby mama concept is not a recent invention, but it has historical roots that's been intertwined with systemic racism and the gradual decline of the two-parent household, especially in Black families. During the mid-20th centuries, Black family structures were remarkably stable and they had high percentages of two-parent household. However, a series of systemic disruptions, most notably the crack epidemic of the 1980s, began to erode this foundation. And this is where we speak about the crack epidemic and the decline of the two-parent household. The crack epidemic of the 1980s, it brought widespread devastation to urban community, and this affected the Black communities unfairly. The crisis was just far from coincidental. It was the culmination of systemic policies that designed to target marginalized communities under the guise of public safety. So what happened was, there was a president that time, his name was President Richard Nixon, and he had a declaration on war of drugs, and he had this declaration in the 1970s, but him having this declaration in the 1970s just laid the groundwork, because it was in the following decade that things just went through the extreme. These policies, it included the 100-to-1 sentencing disparities between crack and powder cocaine. Let me explain that. So basically, crack was like what people in marginalized homes use because it was not as expensive, but powder cocaine is more expensive, and you would mostly find rich people using powdered cocaine. So obviously, it created this disparity between crack and powder cocaine. And this 100-to-1 sentencing was more like a racialized distinction that ensured the harsher sentencing of people from low-income households, and these were predominantly Black people. For possession of as little as, let's say, 5 grams of crack cocaine, people who were found with 5 grams of crack cocaine still serve the same mandatory minimum sentence as someone caught with 500 grams of powdered cocaine. So basically, you were sentenced to the same amount of prison sentence as someone who had 500 grams of powdered cocaine. And this disparity not only reflected systemic racism, but it actively fueled mass incarceration. And let's not act like we don't see that happening even till today. So I'll be holding like 5 grams of marijuana will get like, let's say, 15 years in prison. Meanwhile, some people would just be holding cocaine, and because they're from the rich, they would just get probation. Black men, they were unfairly imprisoned. They were mostly imprisoned for minor drug offenses, and this effectively removed them from their families and their communities. And because they were removed from their families and communities, it just created a void, and it destabilized this household and just left women to navigate parenthood and economic survival alone. The incarceration of fathers or partners during this period just really disrupted the family structure, and single mothers, they were left to shoulder the immense financial and emotional burdens that often came without any support. Children in this house households, they were forced to grow up with limited resources, and this compounded the effects of poverty, and it created cycles of instability that extended across generations. Another thing we should note is that existing neighborhoods, they also face economic decline because industry, they either relocated or they collapsed. Schools, healthcare systems, and community support networks, they struggled to provide the essential services, and because they could not provide as much as they could have, this led families to even feel more vulnerable. The psychological toll that this had was very, very significant because communities now, they became desensitized to loss, violence, and systemic neglect. This history, it also highlights the resilience and the resourcefulness of Black women who found ways to provide for their families in the midst of all these unimaginable challenges, and they formed informal networks of mutual aid. They relied on their own creativity to make ends meet, and also they became pillars of strength in their communities. I'm going to speak on this later on in this video. I'll expand on this later on in this video. Let's just go to the glamorization of baby mama culture. In today's world, baby mama culture has become not just something common, but it has been celebrated, especially through media and pop culture. TV shows like Paternity or Jerry Springer, even Maury, has thrived on dramatic stories of relationship problems, paternity disputes, and family conflict. These shows, they turn deeply personal struggles into entertainment for millions of viewers, making chaos and dysfunction seem normal or even inevitable. When families see these stories over and over, they start to believe that this is just how relationships and families are supposed to look like. At the same time, social media and the music industry has added to this trend by shining a spotlight on the lifestyle of famous baby mamas. Here we see women like Ari Fletcher or Jada Wader or even India Royale just becoming household names, not because of their connections to this rapper or this athlete, but also because they showcase glamorous lives filled with designer clothes, expensive vacations, and lavish gifts. And on Instagram, TikTok, and any other platform, so many people that follow their every move, they admire their success and their influence. But behind all this glitz and all this glamour, their personal stories often reveals much deeper struggles. Many of these women, they have publicly spoken about dealing with cheating, about dealing with broken trust and emotional ups and downs in their relationship, and instead of real apologies or meaningful changes, they often receive expensive gifts like luxury cars or diamond jewelry as a way to just patch things up. For example, Ari Fletcher, she has openly discussed how these material gifts sometimes just make it easier for her to move past this problem. I don't know, I was watching RRG when she broke down Ari Fletcher's relationship. I'm like, girl, her baby daddy really cheated on her so many times, and she kept going back to him, and she got into a new relationship, and when it was fairly new, she bought this man a land. She bought this man a land. So literally, things like this is what glamorizes the baby mama culture and what makes people think that this is the perfect life to go. These stories just send mixed messages because on one hand, they show that women are standing strong and independent, but on the other hand, they also normalize unhealthy relationships where problems never truly go resolved. And what's even more concerning is that these portrayals can give a false impression of what it means to be a baby mama. For some people, it might look like a glamorous lifestyle, having a child with someone famous and living a life of luxury, but the reality for most single mothers is far from what you're seeing on social media. Many people don't have the financial stability or the support systems that these celebrities do. They face daily struggles to provide for their children, often without much help from the child's father, and the focus on wealth and material things just hides the challenges and the sacrifices that comes with single parenthood for the majority of women. This glamorization also influences younger audiences, especially those who look up to these women as role models. Some young people may begin to believe that being a baby mama is an easy or even a more desirable path to success, especially if they associate it with the luxury and the fame that they see online. What's often left out of these stories are the emotional pain, the tears that these women cry when the camera stops flashing in their faces, the instability and the challenges of raising a child in a fractured family dynamic. Let's look at Erica Mina. She's, I will not say a typical baby mama because she got married to Safari, but look at what she's going through. Obviously, her case is different, but like, she's the one that has come out to say what she goes through behind the scenes. Some of these women, they don't come out to say what they go through behind the scenes. Without these realities being shown, the idea of baby mama culture can become dangerously misleading. To truly move forward, we need to change how this topic is portrayed in the media. Instead of focusing on drama and materialism, there should be more conversations about healthy relationships, mutual respect, and the importance of stability in family life. Highlighting stories of love, commitment, growth can also inspire others to seek healthier relationships. By shifting the narratives, we can begin to value the strength of families built on trust and respect rather than just celebrating resilience in the face of dysfunction. And I know that not everybody wants to get married, and we're going to talk about that later on in this video. But before we go down, I'm not only coming for the women, I'm also going to come for the men. Let's talk about the role of baby daddies, because I feel like the more I go down, the more my fire is up. The role of baby daddies has increasingly been questioned, especially when it comes to men in the public eye who fathers children with multiple partners. We have celebrities like Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, NBA Youngboy, etc. Even Future. They often represent a lifestyle that normalizes fragmented families. Their wealth and their fame may shield them from some of the hardships that comes with these dynamics, but their actions still has significant emotional consequences for the women involved and for the children that they raise. These high-profile examples just send mixed messages about responsibility, leaving many to wonder where the accountability lies. So the person that I really want to speak about when it comes to these men that I've mentioned is the NFL quarterback Cam Newton, and I'm going to talk about his relationship with Jasmine Brown, who is also known as Jazz or Jazzy. Unlike outright disrespect, Cam Newton's approach is more subtle, but it still sends a very clear message about his lack of commitment. Jasmine, she's spoken openly about how much she loves Cam Newton, about her relationship, and she often describes herself as deeply connected to him. She has even said things like she knows when he sleeps because his breath changes. That's some psychopathic shit. Like, what do you mean you know when his breath changes? And personally, I believe that she thinks that she is his last bus stop. That means she thinks that she is his final destination.
What does a woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like, before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. Boy, it is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants.
But on the other hand, Cam Newton's words and Jasmine's words, they do not match. What I'm trying to say is that Cam Newton's actions and words, they do not match Jasmine's sentiment. In interviews, he has indirectly suggested that he's not looking to settle down or take their relationship to the next level, and this has created a sharp contrast between her public declarations of love and his more reserved or dismissive tone.
You are not finna tell me you up here with one person. It's not finna happen.
No. See, you're trying to deflect back to me.
No, I would never do you like that.
But
I got respect for you.
No, here.
But you didn't answer that for a reason.
No. Understand this.
You didn't answer for a reason.
I'm going to answer mine, and then I want you to answer mine too.
I will answer it, brother, and I promise you I won't bull with you.
Okay. How long are you talking about?
What you mean?
One person.
What do you mean, how long I'm talking about?
As long as I've been with Jazz, Jazz has not been the only person that I've had sex with.
I don't know your situation.
But I'm getting personal.
Right. I don't know your situation.
Since you want to take it there. And this is the thing that has...
Do you feel like I'm being disrespectful?
No.
Because I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
While he doesn't outright disrespect her, his lack of alignment with her emotional openness just leaves Jasmine vulnerable to public scrutiny. Many people have criticized her for what they perceive as her eagerness to commit to someone who doesn't seem equally invested.
Strong, independent black woman who don't need no man thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that girl. I'm trying to find that balance between my career and my relationship.
So no one told her that the balance or the strong, independent black woman trope is not intended indentured servitudism to a man?
I'm a stepmom, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a life partner, I'm like a helpmate. But I'm
Saying that you're a stepmom to a man's kids that you're not married to is nasty work.
I'm also a career woman. I'm also an actress, a comedian, a writer.
Yes.
Like I do all the things.
Are you still doing those things now that you're in this relationship?
But I noticed that like in my relationship, I feel so much joy when like everyone is taken care of and the house is clean and the kids are fed and they're happy and homework is done.
Yes.
And
So it's every bit of normal that you enjoy doing those things, but you do those things for a man that has chosen to marry you. You don't sit there and build a home with a man who's on the internet saying he's still looking for a wife. And you have his newborn infant, baby, sperm at home.
and they took their baths already and my man is happy and he ate and everybody's good and I'm just sitting back and because I don't even sit down and eat anymore, child.
Yeah.
Bragging about not being able to sit down and enjoy your meal and you have a baby with a man that's wealthy, it doesn't really make that much sense, does it? You are gloating as if you just love taking care of your family, but it sounds like you're not even provided with the resources that you need to be able to live and manage your lifestyle with ease. Where is the support? Why are you saying you don't even sit down these days? You take care of everybody else and your needs go unmet. That's nasty work to be saying that, and technically you're only a woman with one baby. How did you all of a sudden become the mother of a tribe? How all of a sudden did you become extra burned out? And you didn't even birth these kids. Make that make sense. And you're not doing that for your husband. You're doing that for a man that got on the internet and said he's still looking for a wife while you live in his home and take care of your children.
I eat in the kitchen.
As you're making it.
Yeah, like I just will stand up and be in that corner and be like, look at the piece that I've created. And it's just I find so much fulfillment in that.
Look at the piece that I created. What was that man doing with them kids before you got there? What? I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Stop it.
What makes Jasmine's situation particularly striking is her previous stance against baby mama culture. So in case you don't know, Jasmine was against baby mama culture. She once spoke out about the importance of intentional relationships and avoiding the very dynamics that she now finds herself in. And this shift in her circumstances has made her a target for immense criticism, with some people accusing her of contradicting her own values.
Pick-me's are women who try to do everything right just so a man can choose me. Yeah, cut that shit out. Cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. Men already know what they want in a woman and who they want. But if you're so nurturing and you're an asset and it's not you, they'll never tell you to stop doing what you're doing because it's beneficial. And I don't want to hear none of that shit like, oh, I'm just a nice person, I'm genuinely like that. Well, bitch, you gonna genuinely get played.
However, it's very important to approach her story with empathy because, again, relationships are complicated, love is blind, and love can lead people to compromise or hope for the best, even when the signs aren't entirely clear. But honestly, if Queen Chioma or Real Talk with Yanni pops off pregnant without having a husband, I'm sorry, I'm gonna judge them because those are the only two people that I listen to when it comes to relationship. If they come out and do not practice what they preach, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna judge. I'm really gonna judge. Cam Newton's behavior also highlights a common issue with how society views fatherhood and relationship. His subtle resistance to Jasmine's vision for their future just shows the unequal emotional labor that often falls on women. Jasmine, she's vocal about her hopes and her efforts to make the relationship work, but Cam Newton, he just seems to maintain a level of detachment, allowing her to carry the emotional weight by herself. This imbalance is all too familiar in so many relationships, whether they are celebrities or not, and it just perpetuates the idea that men can remain non-committal while women are expected to hold everything together. We are going to come to that, okay? The ripple effect of this dynamic extends beyond the couple themselves. Public figures like Cam Newton just set an example, whether he's doing it intentionally or not, because it sets an example for how relationships and fatherhood are perceived. Cam Newton has, I think, 8 children. He has so many children. His reluctance to fully commit to Jasmine while continuing to co-parent with so many other women, it just normalizes the idea that men can have children without prioritizing stable family structures. For young men who look up to him, they may reinforce the belief that emotional detachment is acceptable. For women, it can be a discouraging reminder that even with love and effort, their commitment might not be reciprocated.
I understand a lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
See my situation? That's a very vague question, and it's for you
What
to
situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from. This is. Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm
just
saying,
want God
about
to
your
bring
wife.
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men would what?
Stop doing that. That they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless. But you over here, at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will. You'll get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done. You can go for it.
Okay, say less. All right, so what identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with, is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means?
That the family is blended. So blended
So blended means broken?
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26,
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old. If he has no kids,
So your
he's a candidate.
non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids. But yes, I get how you're saying it. Yes.
So you cannot date a person. You cannot be with a person.
I can, but I'm choosing not to.
So
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
You're.
I gotta correct it. It's my narrative, Cam.
You're
I
like
can,
jumping in,
I
jumping out. It's either.
can. No, it's not I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
Okay.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids. So I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yes.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump. With your verbiage of blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is, because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that.
That's not my point.
No, I know, I'm making that point. But yes.
But my point.
My answer is I not only identify that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them,
Yeah.
but also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids. I will take
No, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking
a kid. It doesn't matter.
So you're not going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
Personally, I believe that no matter how wealthy a man may be, having multiple children with different women often leads to broken home and fractured family dynamics. Money can provide material comfort, but it does not replace the emotional connection. It does not replace the stability and the consistent presence that children need from their parents. Nick Cannon is a prime example of this term. While he has the financial resources to support his children, his decision to father multiple kids with several women has sparked widespread debates about the emotional and the relational impact of such a lifestyle. Nick Cannon, of course, is a successful entertainer, he's an entrepreneur, he's a media personality with a network that just allows him to provide luxurious life for all of his 20 children. Obviously, he doesn't have 20 children, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. However, being a father isn't just about paying bills or providing lavish gifts. It's about being there for your kids in meaningful ways. With 12 children from 6 different women as of now, because we know that it's canon, he would just be canonificating everywhere. He said that he often feels guilty about missing milestones, birthdays, and everyday moments simply because his time is stretched too thin. When children grow up in homes without both parents actively involved, they often experience feelings of neglect, confusion, and even abandonment. This isn't about blaming fathers for working hard or being busy. It's about recognizing the choice to create multiple households. And this means that the father cannot be fully present in all of them. A father's role goes beyond providing financial stability. It includes guiding, mentoring, and bonding with the children. Even Elon Musk, who is the richest man on earth, he has so many children that he's even giving out his sperm for people to have children. Like, it's not okay. No matter the amount of money you have, purposefully breeding so many children is not okay. Nobody cares about you. It's about those children. No amount of wealth can replace the emotional connection that comes from showing up at a child's recital, helping with homework, or just simply being there for a bedtime story. No amount of money Nikanor's situation also shows the strain that these dynamics place on the mothers. Each mother is essentially tasked with being the primary caregiver, often managing the emotional and logistical challenges that it comes with raising children largely on her own. While Nikanor's financial support may ease some burdens, it still does not address the emotional labor that these women bear or the gaps that are being left by his absence. Parenting is a partnership, and when one partner is physically or emotionally unavailable, it just creates an imbalance that affects both the parent and the child. Moreover, children in these situations, they may struggle with feelings of competition or comparison. Knowing that their father has so many other children with other women can make them question their importance or feel as though they have to compete for his love and attention. Because even in a two-parent household where a man will have like 3 children, who suffers is always the middle child. The first child is the one who does all the tasks, the middle child is the one that's often neglected, and the last child is the one that's often cuddled. Then imagine a man who has children everywhere in the world. Obviously, some people will feel neglected, some children will feel neglected, some children will feel like they do not get the love that they should get from their father because their father is everywhere and is breeding children into this world. Siblings in separate households may not even form strong bonds, and they could grow up like distant relatives than close families. This lack of unity can affect their sense of belonging and identity, which are crucial for emotional development. Having wealth is good, but one thing you should know that wealth can mask some of these issues in the short term, but in the long term, emotional toll is very hard to quantify. Children raised in broken families or fragmented families may carry unresolved feelings into adulthood, and this can impact their relationships and their self-esteem. They might grow up believing that distant or inconsistent relationships are normal, and this perpetuates the cycle of dysfunction in their own families. While writing this, I was thinking if I should add Dr. Umar, because he's all about being black, making the black family grow, all about being black, but he's one of the people that is creating broken black families. He's about, oh, don't marry from another race. You cannot be don't marry from another race and you're creating broken families. You're creating broken families, you're having children everywhere. That's not how it works. If you want to be all black all around, because this is one of the stereotypes, this is one of the stigma that black people have. For men like Nick Cannon, who are in the public eyes, their choices also set an example for others. Nick Cannon, he's defended his lifestyle by emphasizing his ability to financially support his children, but this narrative just reinforces a very harmful idea. It kind of tells us that money is enough to compensate for not showing up. Money is enough to compensate for lack of presence, and it downplays the emotional and the relational aspect of fatherhood, and it reduces it to a financial transaction rather than a meaningful bond. Don't people learn from these movies that you watch? These movies that we watch where the man is so rich, he has one son, him and his wife are always traveling, but the son is not happy despite the amount of money that the father sends to him. He's always not happy, he's always angry because his parents are not there. He does not get the emotional love and support from his parents. Don't you guys get this from movies? The truth is, children thrive in stable, loving environments where both parents can contribute, not just financially, but emotionally and physically as well. Having multiple children with different women just makes it nearly impossible to create such stability, no matter how much money is involved. This isn't about condemning fathers who work hard or who face challenges. It's about acknowledging that fatherhood is a full-time commitment, one that cannot be divided among multiple households without significant sacrifices. True wealth in parenting comes with love, guidance, and the presence that you provide to these children, not just the dollars or the pounds or the naira you spend on them. So by focusing on these values, we can create families that are not just financially secure but emotionally strong and united. So now let's talk about the topic that I've been telling you guys to hold on, and this is the superwoman syndrome and the need for change.
So in Cam Newton's latest attempt to publicly humiliate Jazzy Brown, he has now come on the internet, done an interview saying that, you know, how he's unfaithful to her and how, unlike other women, she doesn't come at it from a rah perspective. She's not cussing him out. She is asking him like, okay, you know, what can we do to make sure this is not a normal occurrence for you? What can I do to make this better? Let's go on a walk and talk about this. Like, where is this coming from? Why are you doing this? He goes on and on and on describing like just how well she's handling this and how, you know, she holds him accountable, but she's not making him feel bad about it. I mean, truly just painting the picture of this seemingly perfect woman. And so my question is, where is her reward for that? Because from our perspective, it looks like she's doing everything right. She's cooking for him. She's cleaning for him. She's rubbing his back till he falls asleep. She's packing his bag. She's a servant at heart. She's letting him cheat on her. She's having his kids without a ring. She's doing everything that y'all say that you want. And yet you just came on the internet like 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago and told us that you're still looking for a wife. So what is the reward for being the girl that does everything right? Because it feels like her reward is public humiliation at an almost consistent rate. It feels like you have come on the internet every month now to embarrass and humiliate her after she has done everything that she is supposed to do. And you don't even want to marry her. I mean, she is literally living out that video that she posted years ago about pick-me's and how pick-me's will do everything that they are supposed to do to get chosen by a man when that man knows in his heart and in his head that you are not the woman that he wants, but you keep doing it because you want to be chosen so bad. She literally prophesied that and then fulfilled the prophecy herself. So since she is no longer here to tell you, let me be the one to say it. There is no reward for being the perfect woman. There's no reward for doing everything right. There is no reward for accepting the scraps of love that men want to give to you. Your reward is that man. That's it. Nothing more. Your reward is that man and the public humiliation that you will suffer at his hands. That is it. You don't get anything else. I promise.
Women in these situations, they are often expected to embody a kind of superwoman status, carrying the weight of every challenge and hardship without showing any signs of struggle.
Yes, as you know, Taco Tuesday is a holiday in this house, and my baby's helping me cook. We got the quesadillas, the yellow rice, the pico, the chalupas are made to order, the special tacos are made to order. Everything else here is done. Chopped up the lettuce real thin like I like it. Everything is good to go. I'm just waiting for everybody to get home so they can have a hot meal after practice. And it's up and it's stuck. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Now that everything is done, I'm going to put my baby to sleep. I don't know about y'all. I don't know what brings you guys joy, but it really brings me joy to serve. I love being a servant. I love to serve. It just brings me joy. I love it. I love serving. I love it. I love it. I don't give a damn. I'll be up at 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, cooking breakfast, serving. I just love that. I love it. Yeah. It's like, it just gives me purpose. And now with the new baby, now I just feel even more purposeful, especially like when I breastfeed. I feel so full of life. I love it. I love it. Come on, baby.
And that's why you see men being like, oh, my mother did this, my mother did that. If my mother could do this, why can't my wife do it? Go and marry your mom then. Go and marry your mom. Did your mom tell you that she was doing all those things because she wanted to? Did she tell you that she was happily doing them? Or she just did it because she just needed to survive? This unrealistic expectation just places immense pressure on Black women as though they are supposed to endure adversity alone with no one to lean on for support. And that is not okay. This mindset is not only unfair, but it's also harmful. It creates a culture where asking for help is seen as a sign of weakness, pushing people into isolation and preventing them from finding the support that they need. This reminds me of a video that I watched. This woman, she had just given birth and her husband told her to clean everywhere. And she's like, I just gave birth. Her husband did not care because her husband thinks that she needs to do everything because she's the wife.
I've just given birth and you expect me to stand up and clean up for hours on end?
When we first got together, you told me that you enjoyed cleaning and loved all that sort of stuff.
What have you done today?
Usually I'm at work, aren't I, and I'm doing things. And
Well, maybe instead of standing eating cake, maybe you should start cleaning up. You've done nothing.
Yes, but you're better at it, aren't you?
I've been looking after the baby all day. She's been crying all day.
She hasn't been
Just
crying.
managed to
That's
put her to
bollocks.
sleep.
That's
Just
bollocks.
managed to put her to sleep to have my first meal of the day.
You're sitting on your arse as well, so you like, it's not just me.
Wow.
All I'm asking is for you to take a few mugs out, a bit of hoovering, a bit of cleaning, you know, TV's looking a bit dusty, lights probably need a little dust around as well. I'm going to the pub in a minute. When I'm back from the pub, we'll reevaluate, see what he's doing. I'll make you a list together. Okay, so I'm giving
And you can do it.
No,
I'm not a chance am I doing the cleaning.
I'm giving you a bit of time.
Not a
You can chill
chance.
out first.
Not a
While I'm at
chance.
the pub, you can chill out as well. Then when I come back, we'll sort out what you need to clean.
Not a chance.
Women need help. She asked for help and it was seen as a sign of weakness. Society needs to challenge this narrative and recognize that no one should have to bear these burdens alone. True strength isn't about facing everything alone. It's about knowing when to seek help. It's about knowing when to share the load with other people and not being afraid to show vulnerability. Some people are like, oh, I've never seen my mom cry. Oh, I've never seen my dad cry. I don't think it's okay. Your parents should show you when they are weak, not in a way that could emotionally traumatize you, but they should let you know that even though I'm here as an eagle or as mama bear, I still have emotions. I still get vulnerable. I still have times where I just need to be by myself. They should show you that. We must push for systemic challenges that provide real support. Things like accessible mental health services, affordable childcare, and community resources. These are not just necessities, but they are crucial elements that are needed when you need to create an environment where everybody can thrive. When we break down the barriers that isolate and stigmatize, we foster a culture of collective support and empowerment. This is especially important for Black women who are often unfairly burdened with the expectations of self-sufficiency and strength. Now let's talk about intentionality and accountability. Creating fractured household is a big deal, and the glamorization of being a baby mama, it really does not help. It often ignores the serious emotional, financial, and social challenges that comes with single parenthood. And while some might look at people like Sexy Red who celebrate this lifestyle, other people like Keke Palmer and Sky Jackson, they have shown the real risk. Keke Palmer's experiences especially highlight the tough choices that women face. Her public confrontation with her partner just revealed the harsh realities of dealing with someone who, in my own opinion, may be jealous that your successful partner is getting more recognition than you are, and this adds a new layer of scrutiny and emotional stress. Let's start with Sky Jackson for a moment. So Sky Jackson, she's a great example of this topic. She's a young Disney star who was in a groundbreaking Disney show, and she shot to fame quickly, but then she found herself dating someone who is not on her level in any way, shape, or form. The street has it, so I'm going to say allegedly, she met this guy when he was in prison. So basically this pen pal system where you can send a letter to someone in prison, that's how she met him. Due to this, there have been allegations of her partner being in and out of prison, which, number one, is a huge red flag. This situation isn't just about dating within the industry, it's about women sometimes lowering their standards when they feel pressure or loneliness. These relationships, they often come with jealousy from their partners who struggle to match up to their partner's success or their partner's public image. Sky Jackson's partner's nasty comments about her, who by the name, his name is Yerke. He called her a Disney bitch. It just shows how toxic things are when your partner just feels threatened by your achievement. And let's not forget how we even know about this guy. Literally, she was arrested because of a domestic violence altercation with him. That's literally how we know about this guy. In his alleged words, because he said that he was hacked, actually not him, Sky Jackson and her mom came out and said that he was hacked. Anyways, in his words, he said on WAP, "I'm salty I got this dumbass bitch pregnant. I hate this hoe." Literally. Also, this guy, Yerke, he has multiple children with different women, allegedly. Can you guys see what I'm saying? Now let's go to Keke Palmer's situation. Keke Palmer's situation is also revealing. Her baby daddy criticized her for dancing with Usher at a concert. This was just a way to shame her instead of speaking to her privately. He just thought the best way to shame her is publicly. And this type of public shaming is very painful and is damaging, not just for her reputation, but also to their relationship. It's a glaring example of the toxic dynamics that come into play when a partner just feels entitled to control or limit their partner's personal freedom. The message here is clear. Society needs to stop expecting women to handle everything on their own and start pushing for healthier, more supportive relationships. Let me tell you guys the issue with lowering your standards. Why do women end up with partners who are not on their level? It's not just about social status, it's about self-worth and empowerment. There's a real sense of loneliness and pressure in the public eye, and I can acknowledge that this can lead women to settle for someone who doesn't fully support them. This kind of relationship often comes with jealousy and insecurities from the men involved, especially if they can't match their partner's success. The societal expectation that women must be strong and self-sufficient can push them into unhealthy relationship where their worth is compromised. I mean, Kiki Palmer has come out to say that since she was 12, she's been the breadwinner. So this is what she knows. This is all she knows. Since she was 12, she's been the breadwinner of her family and now her relationship. But that should not be it. I'm not here to say, oh yeah, she has to be with someone in the public eye or she has to be with someone in the entertainment industry. No, it could be with a lawyer, it could be with a doctor, it could be with someone who does not feel threatened by your wealth but still has something going on well for them. You can be with someone like that. You can be with someone like that. You can be with someone that even though you earn more, they still earn enough and they don't feel threatened by who you are. Yerky has no job. Kiki Palmer's baby daddy has no job. Allegedly. So let's talk about how we can stop the cycle. Breaking the cycle of baby mama culture, it involves more than just individual empowerment. It requires comprehensive systemic changes. Addressing the root causes of this issue just demands a different approach that tackles both societal norms and institutional barriers. Firstly, we should address systemic barriers because this is very, very crucial. One of the most significant challenges is welfare reform. Current policies often fail to provide adequate support to single parents, and this leaves many people to struggle financially without sufficient resources to build stable family foundations. To change this, we need to advocate for policies that provide financial support, affordable healthcare, affordable childcare, and access to education. Additionally, tackling systemic racism within the justice system is so vital. Racial disparities, they contribute to higher rates of incarceration and socioeconomic challenges within communities of color, which in turn affect family stabilities and contribute to baby mama culture. By addressing these issues, we can create an environment where all families have a fair chance to thrive. Promoting relationship education is another essential step. From a young age, people need to learn the skills that are required for healthy, respectful relationships. This includes emotional intelligence, communication, and conflict resolution. I'm not gonna lie, I was never taught this. Nobody ever sat me down and was like, oh, protect your womb. I was never taught that. There are so many things that I had to learn growing up. And people on YouTube, though, if they were speaking about it, I just did not come across it. Like, I was never taught all these things. I was never educated. It felt like something that parents did not really want to speak to children about, especially because I'm a 90s baby. I'm actually a millennial. It was like parents did not want to speak to their children about it. So these are things I had to learn on my own. When I think that something is normal, they're like, no, it's not. Education is really important. Schools and community programs, they should integrate relationship education into their curriculums. This will help to equip young people with these crucial tools. And by learning to understand and manage emotions, communicate effectively, and respect other people's boundaries, young people are more likely to build healthy relationships in the future. I did not know the importance of having a boundary. I didn't know how to implement my boundaries, but I knew how to respect other people's boundaries. I was not taught all this. I had to learn it myself. So it would be very, very useful and very sensible if this can be taught in schools. This kind of education just helps to break the cycle of dysfunctional relationship, and it reduces the likelihood of women ending up in unhealthy partnerships. The media also plays a very significant role in shaping public perception, often glamorizing dysfunctional relationship dynamics and the baby mama lifestyle. Media portrayals, they can contribute to unrealistic expectations about relationships and family lives, and this influences both personal and societal norms. To combat this, we need to hold media accountable for how they portray relationships, especially those involving single mothers. Encouraging more positive and realistic representation of love, commitment, and family can help shift societal attitudes towards monogamous relationships and reduce the stigma associated with single parenthood. Women should be empowered, because when you empower women, it's very, very essential to break this cycle. Women must have the resources that they need to set boundaries, to recognize their worth, to demand equitable treatment, especially in their relationships. This involves providing access to mental health support, financial education, and resources that help women build confidence and autonomy. Empowered women are more likely to make informed decisions about their relationship and avoid settling in unhealthy partnerships. They can stand up for their rights, they can seek support when needed, and ultimately they can foster healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Finally, promoting marriage and commitment doesn't mean that marriage is a one-size-fits-all solution, but it does emphasizes the value of stable, respectful partnerships.
How come every time somebody says it's better to wait until you're married before you have kids, people are always like, well, he can still leave you even if you're married. He can still leave you even... Duh! The same way you can still die in a car accident even if you have your seatbelt on. But it's probably still a good idea to put that seatbelt on when you get in the car, right? Marriage protects you and gives you benefits that being a baby mama does not. Okay? So if you want to be a baby mama, that's your call. You're grown. You can do whatever you want. But stop trying to make women who want to wait until they're married before they have kids sound like they're crazy. Thank you.
A man wants me to push a baby out this power portal. You're gonna have to get on one knee, mother.
If he wants you to have his baby before marrying you, you should start running. He's trying to avoid legal obligations and 2, truly being committed to you. By making you a baby mama, he can leave you as a single mother with a child while still maintaining an attachment to you. He wants you tied to him, but at the same time wants to keep his options open.
Healthy relationships, whether they lead to marriage or not, they are built on mutual respect, communication, and shared values. Society needs to promote these ideals as crucial components of family stability. By valuing this aspect in all types of relationships, we can help to break the cycle of dysfunction and provide a better foundation for children to grow up in. In conclusion, breaking the cycle of baby mama culture requires both systemic change and personal empowerment. Tackling issues like welfare reform, challenging media narratives, empowering women, and promoting healthy relationships are essential steps towards creating a more supportive and equitable society. These changes would not only improve the lives of single mothers, but will also create a more inclusive and supportive environment for all families. It's about reshaping societal attitudes and also building structures that provide real support, allowing families to thrive rather than merely survive. Baby mama culture isn't just a single issue. It reflects a broader and deeper problem that we have in our society. By understanding its roots and the impact that it has, we can start breaking down those barriers. It's time to support healthy relationships. It's time to empower people to make informed choices and build a future where families can thrive in love and unity. That's why I'm not attacking only the woman. I'm also coming for the men, because it takes two to create a child. It takes two to create a child. This also means recognizing the importance of protecting our wombs. Because I don't know, I've said it so many times, I don't want to be pregnant. I really don't want to be pregnant. I'm so sorry, I don't want to be pregnant. Thank you. Because apart from the fact that, because I don't understand the changes before you get pregnant, trying to be pregnant, this or that. I feel like women just suffer the most. First of all, losing your virginity is fucking painful. Beginning you start, having sex with someone, that beginning time is not as comfortable as it should be, because it's something that is new. And then you want to have a child. Having a child, some people it comes easy, some people it doesn't come. You have to go through IVF. Then you're pregnant, you're going through all this morning sickness and all these things. Having a child is not easy. You carry this child for 9 months and then you push the child, which is so painful. I don't see myself going through that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see myself going through the process of childbirth. I've known since I was 14 that I don't want to. So it baffles me when people intentionally give birth to someone else's child who does not respect them or who does not value who they are. Honestly, it baffles me. Putting your body through that, bring a child into this world for a father who from the jump has shown you that he's not interested in you. We should protect our womb. If we protect our womb, we make a choice that respects and honors us as women and as our well-being. So by valuing and nurturing these decisions, we can challenge and change the harmful cycles that perpetuate baby mama culture. Yesterday, when I was preparing to record this video, because this is my third time recording this video, Tony Brian had just dropped something similar, talking about baby mama. And while I was listening to her, as I was doing my makeup, I was listening to what she said. She said something. She said, people say that marriage is just a piece of paper, and so is money. So choose your struggle. Literally, let's create a world where everyone, especially women, have the support and freedom to thrive. Remember, protect your womb. Marriage is not a one-size-fits-all, but it has some advantages. It's something I have seen firsthand. People plan pregnancy and they are like, oh, I don't think marriage is important, and they regret it. I've seen firsthand. Some people, it may be easy, but for others, it's not easy. 18 years with a child in your hands, you alone. At least the USA, they carry child support to their head. The UK, they don't carry child support as serious as that, because women, they get so many benefits from the government. But I'm here saying they get so many benefits, but these benefits they get cannot even help them. It can only help their child, but it's not something that can help a whole family. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Ladies, please protect your womb. Protect your womb. Learn the spirit of discernment. These people, they just show you what they want to show you. They are not showing you what they do behind the cameras, the tears they've cried, the frustrations they have. They've not shown you that. Stop popping out babies for losers. Stop popping out babies for losers. You deserve so much more than that. I'm not here to judge anybody, and if you've done it, I hope you've learned from your lesson, because it's not easy. It is not easy. But that being said, thank you guys so much. If you made it to the end, please drop a circle emoji, because my earring has just made a statement in this room. Or drop a crystal emoji. Earring or crystal, anyone is fine. And thank you so much. I really love and appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, bye. Be canonificating everywhere.